Last time on Dice Fall and Everyone Dies.
Where are they?
From the western side of the room, you hear this pitiful crying sound as y'all raise your voices at each other.
Taffy no longer gives a shit about the conversation. She whips around and looks for the puppies.
I'm gonna call you Luna, because you look like a moon rock.
You should call that one Mittens. Or Boots. Or...
Mittens.
Or Bucket.
Mittens.
Her name is Greaves.
Greaves are
Mittens.
the,
Her name is Greaves.
I'm sorry in advance if this is actually your dad.
I don't know what that sound means. I hope it's not your dad.
Maybe he's an abusive father. Maybe he's an alcoholic.
I mean, he hasn't been feeding them very well, so maybe I'm more of a mom to it now than its dad is.
Most of the time they end up being exceedingly bloodthirsty hunting machines capable of decimating a local animal population very, very quickly, which is why goblins also have a tendency to ally themselves together. So you have to be very, very careful to make sure it doesn't come out, how do I say this,
Vicious.
evil. Have you not heard the howls coming from the forest? A she-warg is roaming the hills. We're lucky we've not been hunted out here. Give me a good sturdy door to hold up behind. This camping is much more your speed, Warble. One I know the answer to for one, but I don't know the answer for the second one. I know that Luna is in Taffy's pack.
Yes.
Where have y'all been putting Greaves?
Greaves is with the goblins.
You hear the winds, the sounds of the birds, and it seems oddly and eerily silent.
Shouldn't we be hearing the goblins by now?
We should.
And as you approach, the hillock is eerily silent from your last visit, and it was filled with the sounds of chattering goblins preparing for the evening meal. But from your vantage point now, you notice that your tents seem to have fallen over. The fire, which had been continuously going, has gone out, and that's when you spot the blood. Welcome back to Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. I'm your GM Chris, and today we have a special episode. And so before we jump in, I want to take a moment to talk about tone in tabletop games as well as our game. The general tone of our game bounces from this sense of tense combat to whimsical antics, and it fluxes pretty regularly. We've received comments from our listeners who've noticed that sometimes our descriptive language can bend towards the gruesome, or they might have noticed that not all of our characters are squeaky clean and 100% wholesome. Much of this is purposeful, and it will continue to evolve over time. What we want to emphasize, though, is that when you approach your own games, you want to be very clear with everyone at the table the level of expectations. Because you may be expecting unicorns and gumdrops when you sit down, but if you find yourself in a grim, dark hellscape, you're going to be disappointed. But if you happen to look at that counterpoint as part of your whole shtick, well, you can go ahead and rock on and play hard, you pink puffy unicorn covered in bloody entrails and glitter. We'll even retweet and like your comments on Twitter for it. Just when you sit down at a table, make sure that you know what to expect and be ready for moments to surprise you, because sometimes there may be emotions you just haven't expected. One of the greatest aspects of tabletop RPGs is discovering more about yourself as you explore characters and concepts. Maybe you're more aggressive than you thought. Maybe you're thrilled by emotions you didn't even know you had. Maybe you have lines that you didn't know shouldn't or couldn't be crossed. And when those kinds of internal conflicts arise, try to be open. Be open with your group and be open with the trusted people around you. Because just because these are games doesn't mean they don't affect people on deep and fundamental levels. Because you see, they're also stories, and stories have power. Our podcast will likely continue to have a range of tones, and we want to make sure our audience who shares our table with us knows what they're getting into. This episode cuts deep. It's not going to be suitable for everyone, and it's okay. But if you enjoy this episode and want more, let us know on our socials, share it with your friends, and subscribe on your platform of choice. If there's something we could have handled better, please tell us. We want to become better storytellers and players with every episodes. And above all, we want to thank you. As y'all are approaching, you only hear the hit of the gravel on your footsteps. You hear the winds, the sounds of the birds, and it seems oddly and eerily silent.
Shouldn't we be hearing the goblin by now?
We should.
And as you approach, the hillock is eerily silent from your last visit, and it was filled with the sounds of chattering goblins preparing for the evening meal. But from your vantage point now, you notice that your tents seem to have fallen over. The fire, which had been continuously going, has gone out, and that's when you spot the blood. Drawing quickly near, you find that the camp has been in full disarray. There are obvious wolf tracks, and you find half-mauled goblin bodies among the spilled supplies and bloodied weapons. In the center of it all, you hear pitiful whine from a hound. Rushing to the sound of Braxton in obvious distress, you come upon Warble, kneeling at the edge of the scattered fire. Cradled in her arms is the body of Helba, a pallid green, flesh-ripped throat. There are ghastly signs of it having been mauled by jaws more powerful than a wolf's.
Does it...
Warble doesn't even react as you approach, and it's not until you're right upon her. Braxton wobbly pitches to his feet and limps over to Taffy. He seems to have suffered considerable damage to his flank, and he presses his head to hers and whines pitifully. And as soon as you touch Warble's shoulder, she recognizes you're there, and her eyes fill with fat, sorrowful tears. I'm sorry, heroes. We tried. We really did.
I checked.
The pack, they descended upon us during the meal. They must have taken out our scouts because we didn't have any warning. The wolves, they plunged in and began to rip and tear with those terrible jaws. Helba's she took up her horse chopper and she told me to get Braxton and run. She told me to go find our friends and to take Reeves and run away on Braxton. That's when the warg showed up. It held one of her young ones in its jaws. It was so much blood on her muzzle. The young one was scrambling, trying to get free of her jaws, and then she shook him. And that's when he stopped moving. It said to give her her babies. That we were responsible because we were helping the humans steal her babies. But if we didn't give her Greaves, she would take and kill the youngling. She pats Helba's head. Helba was so brave. She stood up to the beast and proclaimed it never should have abandoned its young in the citadel in the first place. And then the warg, it swallowed the youngling whole. Gone in one go. I heard the screaming then. I made it screaming. Helba tried to stop it, but then the jaws clamped around her neck, and it shook her. I tried to grab Greaves and run, but then one of the wolves intercepted me, and it was about to rip my own throat when Braxton leapt in its way. He grabbed me by my sleeve and ran. Braxton is such a good boy. I never knew that such good boys dogs could be. I couldn't save her. I'm sorry I couldn't save her. And tears are streaming down Warble's face, and she can no longer look into your eyes. With shaky fingers, Warble continues to caress Helba's wispy hair.
I checked for a pulse.
She looks at Taffy, and she gets each one of you in the eye. I will serve you for the rest of my days if you find that warg bitch and kill her. Help me avenge my clan, and I'm not strong enough to do it myself, but I can serve. Help me.
Which way did she go?
There is an obvious amount of wolf tracks, and you can tell that Warble is in no condition, but you should be able to track them with a survival check.
I'm gonna set the warg as my hunted prey.
Helba's dead?
Oh yeah, she did. I had to get in character for that one.
Taffy,
24.
Taffy's gonna wander around the bodies and see if there's anybody still alive and cast Stabilize on any that she can find.
And from Bread's survival, you can tell that a pack of wolves with probably 2 different sets of footprints that are larger than standard wolves has headed off to the north and east, higher up into the foothills. As you begin checking the area, you find that there's the spilled supplies. It appears that most of the goblins that have fallen have already been into a partially eaten state, and you can find several that there are obvious signs of the bodies having been dragged and taken.
So there's no survivors besides Warble?
That's what it seems. And when you check on Braxton, you find that he is sitting at 1 hit point at this point.
I'm gonna use medicine to bandage him up as best I can.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Can Deimos help with that?
Does my normal medicine
I only have a
Apply, yes,
plus
it
1,
does.
so I only
on
have
Braxton?
10.
Hold on. 21. So that's it's a D8?
2d8.
So, Stano is going to kneel down by Warble. Is going to kind of gently but firmly kind of turn her a bit so that Warble's looking her in the eye.
Warble shakily looks up.
On
4.
my name as a Salisfer, we will do this. We will kill them. You need not serve. We will do this for our friendship.
It takes a moment for the understanding to cross in Warble's state of shock, and she closes her eyes and bows her head towards you.
And Stano's gonna hug her.
And she breaks down immediately. She is now just bawling.
Taffy comes over and joins them to the hug.
So with all of y'all there, even Braxton is settled down next to you now with a set of fresh bandages from Deimos. And you've got little Luna just like...
After the hug, Taffy's gonna turn to Braxton and Luna and just pull them both up to her.
Braxton takes a moment and he noses up towards your face and he licks the tear from your eye.
Aww. Our horses are gone today.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
But Caslin does see one set of horse tracks
Oh no.
leading off in an opposite direction.
You guys are still gonna be riding together. If we can get the horse.
So one of the sets of tracks looks like it was hunted down by the wargs, but as you check and try the other one, you might be able to see if it survived if you want to go track it down.
Okay.
So with the 25 survival, takes probably about 10 minutes before you're able to find where it got out and away, and it's in a clearing closer towards the town. You can see that it has also been damaged, having suffered from probably claw and bite marks from its flank as it was nipped along the back part of its hindquarters and legs.
Oh.
But you can also tell that on the upper parts of its hoofs, where it likely did its own set of damage, trying to cave in some of its attackers' skulls. It looks a bit indignant as you come by, wondering where you've been.
Whose horse is it?
It actually is the one that Stano picked out.
Go figure that yours is the one that has the indignant, like, well, humans, where were you? Taffy's gonna want to take Warble back to town along with Braxton so that any injuries that either of them have sustained can get healed and they can be safe, because she knows that they're gonna go wreck shit and she doesn't want to leave them in a vulnerable state.
Alex steps up at this point. I can take care of this duty for you, my lady.
Will you also grab the cauldron that Stano bought the goblins and take it with you as well?
I shall. I will do this for you. I have not known this small band, but I understand this is something you must do.
We need to find Greaves.
There's more to it than that. But
I will take my leave, and I will guard her with my life, on the honor of the Order of the Nail. and on the honor of the Stalgrim name.
Take it easy, because Braxton's pretty hurt still.
If he shows additional signs of limping, I will carry him myself. Now,
Thank you.
go kill that wild bitch.
Gaslin's already made her his hunted target.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. Stannis pulling out her greatsword.
All right.
I hate to be inappropriate, but what about our obligation downtown?
It'll wait. Surely between the four of us, one warg is no
Is
no
there any-
challenge.
This is gonna sound really weird, but Taffy's gonna look for any kind of not memento, so to speak, but like some kind of, be it like a bloodstained rock or a piece of ember from the fire that got askewed when the wolves came through, something that represents kind of what happened to the tribe.
Well, there is always Helba's bloodstained horse chopper.
Well, no, it's got to be some.
Stano is going to take that and very gently put it into her pack.
Okay. No, it's got to be something like, it's got to be something small, but something that she can have with her when they kill the warg. So like,
You could use the horse. Sorry, you could use the horse chopper to give the final blow.
Well, and there's also a couple of the dog slicers running around too, weapon-wise with blood. But there are several of the coals and the like that are there as well.
So I've been reading a little bit on what prestidigitation does. Would it be able to essentially take a coal and hold it in like almost like a stasis kind of, as long as I'm concentrating on it? She wants it to still be burning.
So several of the material components for fire spells utilize coal and ash and those like.
Okay.
And the like. So you can salvage some of that for your material
She
component.
wants one that's about the size of a normal person's like fist.
There are a couple pieces from the fire because it was fed with quite a bit of wood.
Okay.
And I need Caslin to go ahead and give me a survival check to track stuff down.
That's really nice.
27.
You can find the trail that the pack followed, seeing where there was a large drug carcass, and not too far, maybe 10 minutes out, you can see the spot where the horse carcass was dragged to and then was obviously fed on. From there, you can continue down a series of game trails, proceeding further and further into the foothills, heading higher and higher. You can tell that these tracks are fresh, and they show that there's an urgent pace to the pack. As you continue further, the pack appears to have marched in a single file, approaching into the larger hills. The foliage is dense, and the path becomes difficult terrain, but you can continue to follow the pack with a 27, and you reach the foot of a high hill north and east of Citadel All-Terrain. As you are approaching, you can see that several members of the pack slipped off from this trail into multiple directions, but you see that the largest set of tracks continues upwards towards the hill. Give me a perception check or a survival.
All of us, or just
Anyone who has the ability to track.
Oh.
I can do a flat roll, but I can't do anything beyond that.
17.
10.
You can tell that one of these is definitely warg tracks, and one is something bigger than a wolf.
Direwolf?
Like bigger than a wolf that is a warg? Like, so bigger than a warg? Or
Smaller than the warg, but bigger than a wolf.
You can tell that there's the warg tracks, there's wolf tracks, and there is a third type of canine track. One of these days here, gotta get ready for all the things. The stuff's about to go down. Gotta have my pan.
Already made your players cry?
I know. Makes you feel better. I made myself cry.
No, it doesn't. It does not help, Chris.
You begin approaching. How do y'all want to approach this hillock? As you've gotten closer, you can tell that the tracks are very fresh.
Stano does not want to be subtle.
well,
Like,
Hang on, we need to see if there's going to be something in our way that we might not want to kill.
So does Caslin want to scout ahead?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me. Let's go ahead and go with the survival.
Oh shit. Can
15.
What does Taffy want to do?
I would have done it before we left. I would have cast Gentle Repose on Helba. It allows her to remain in.
Do you have the spell prepared?
Yes, actually I do.
Then that is definitely doable. So Caslin begins edging forward, and you can see that the area opens up into a clearing, and then that clearing buttresses right up to a relatively shallow cave opening. And as you peer forward, you see that there is a warg as well as 2 wolves, and then something you have yet to see before. But based from Steno's descriptors, you think that that might be a dire wolf. You're a little bit ahead of the party, but as you're looking and observing, you see the ears perk up from 2 of the wolves. What do you want to do? You gotta make a split-second decision.
I want to shoot an arrow behind them, so it hits something and it creates a diversion and gets their attention on the opposite side, and so I can get back into the group.
So that you
I can
know,
use ghost sound.
your clearing is buttressing up to the side of sheer wall, and so you're right up to where the foothill is beginning to turn into mountain.
Yeah.
At this point, so you have woods over to your right until it turns into mountain, and woods to your left until it turns into mountain. So you could shoot up, but it's hard to get it to be behind them because they're buttressed by cliff face.
Did you say there was a cave?
There is a cave.
Can I shoot into the cave?
You can shoot into the cave.
Okay. But the cave is not where I am. It's like
Correct. So you're
Okay.
at the opposite side of the clearing.
Okay.
That's there.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot into the cave,
Okay.
and then if it was gonna be like a combat situation with 3 rounds, I would shoot and then use a double movement to get back to the party.
Okay. So as you shoot and begin retreating, a sonorous howl goes up, and as Brett is returning, you hear the howl answered by what sounds like 3 additional wolf sounds. So Caslin knows where they are. He describes to you the situation. Is Stano going to march up?
She's not in a good state right now because she considers that what happened is her fault because she left Greaves with the goblins. So she's not in a good state of mind. She is going to march up unless somebody else wants to have an idea.
Taffy grabs at Stano and says,
I understand why we're marching in there, and I want to kill them. But we need to be smart. If we can get more of a jump on them, then we can take them out quickly, and then we can make her suffer for what she's done.
so Taffy is going to recommend that we use stealth. Try to
Alright.
stealth up.
I will remind y'all, Stano does not have stealth.
Oh yeah, and she's got a lot of armor that's gonna make her
Oh,
very
yeah.
stealthy.
But originally she was going to come up without any armor, so like...
Good thing
Small
she
victories.
Didn't do that.
Right.
All right.
I would like to say that Caslin is slightly, only like 5% conflicted, because we did steal her kid. I mean, they're just
She
they're
abandoned
just-
them.
Well, did she?
They were starving.
Well, maybe there was a reason. I'm just saying that's what going through Caslin's head, and he's not saying this. He's not vocalizing. He's not going to get in the way, but he's just,
It's also
they're
worth noting...
they're just sticking to their nature.
It's
is
also
as
worth
far as
noting
what he's
wargs are intelligent and chaotic evil.
Well,
So,
yeah.
Stano's at least lawful evil.
So so y'all are going to approach slowly and with stealth?
Yes.
All right. Then I need everyone to give me a stealth check.
I'm gonna take that. That's a 19.
Take a button.
Button. Thank you for the buttons. Oh, I did 2 this time. 1 from Tappy.
Oh, that was worse.
Shit, same.
7.
11.
22.
How did Stano do better than y'all in half-plate armor?
She's very, very determined. That's how.
She's pretty fucking determined.
As y'all approach the
I guess
clearing
that's technically 24.
from the game trail, trying to make sure that y'all are moving without letting them know that y'all are there, a wind kicks up and a few of the pungent aromas from Taffy's component pouch kicks into the air.
Damn.
You can see that from Kazlin's original description that one wolf, in addition to the original 2 regular-sized wolves, has already joined. And you see that there is the warg as well as a dire wolf. The warg is standing in front of the cave entrance next to the dire, and they have all turned into your direction. And the warg's mouth begins moving, forming the words, "There's no need to be stealthy, gnome. You and the half-elf can come forward. I imagine my messenger told you what to bring."
Yeah, she did.
Fling sphere right on her.
All right, roll initiative.
Hell yeah!
Oh.
22.
The hell is my initiative? Oh, it's right there. 27.
22 for me.
9.
What?
I rolled a 1.
Oh my god.
So
not only was Stano very, very stealthy, but she's also maybe the first to go? I don't know
What'd
what the
you
wolves
get?
rolled.
there's nothing really wrong with bringing up the rear.
Natural 20, no, 27.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm at 22.
Damn.
So, because Taffy is the one who initiated, we will go ahead and have you expend your Flaming Sphere spell.
So,
But actually, you're towards the top of the initiative. We'll do it this way. Stano gets to go first, and then you're going to be dropping your sphere.
How far away is Stano from the closest wolf?
Y'all were able to get within an action of movement.
so about 30 feet away?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, perfect.
So, Stano, what you got?
She is going to, trusting Taffy. I'm assuming the warg is all the way in to
Yes,
the cave.
the warg is in the cave, and the dire wolf is next to her. And there are 3 wolves in front of the cave, about 10 feet away from the
But we
mouth
don't
entrance.
see Greaves at all, do we?
You do not yet spot Greaves.
Then the closest wolf, Stano, is going to attack.
Alright.
Let me give that to Chris.
More buttons.
Oh, but do you want this one back?
No, does that count as an extra hero point? That is a 16.
16 hits.
Okay. It is not a power attack, but it is an intimidating glare attack. So, first of all, she does 9 damage, and that wolf is now frightened 1.
That is a minus to its abilities. And it is not particularly happy to be hit for 9.
And then, is there another wolf within reach, or is it the same wolf?
There are 3 wolves, but they're each kind of staggered 5 feet from each other, so
Cool.
you have to move again.
Then she's just gonna hit the same fucking wolf again.
Do it.
That is a... what is it to do a second hit?
-5.
Minus 5. That's a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Is it critical?
It does not critical.
God damn it. Cool. Cool. She does 5 more damage on this wolf. And when she yanks her sword back, she goes, "I used to like dogs."
Aww.
So you move up, and with your sword slash twice into it, your first bout hits in across its shoulder for a fairly deep gash, and then you correct and then try to come in at the other, and it bounces back a little bit, but you catch just the edge of its snout while it's there, and it is somewhat cowed, but it is still facing off with you. Tappy.
3d6 damage on the warg. She needs to make a reflex save.
How big's the sphere?
It's 5 foot square.
Oh, okay.
And if she remains in it at the end of her turn, she takes 3d6 damage each round.
So she rolled a 23 on her save.
Jesus Christ. Pretty sure that's definitely gonna save.
She take half damage?
No. She doesn't take any.
God damn it.
So your sphere
It's
winks
still
into
there.
existence.
Because I'm gonna sustain.
So your spell winks into existence. You've got 1 action remaining and you can sustain it next turn. What do you want to do with your remaining action?
She's gonna cast shield on herself.
All right, Demos, it is now your turn.
Okay.
Around Taffy, a shield buzzes into life, and there is a flaming sphere in the warg's vicinity as it is dancing around trying to not catch flame. Stano has moved up into melee with one of the wolves and may be about to be surrounded by the pack.
What are the spells it's moving from this list? I'm going to do telekinetic projectile.
And what are you aiming at?
Let's see, I've got 30 feet. I want one that hasn't been hit yet.
You want to aim at a wolf, dire wolf, or the warg?
Let's get the warg and do it at the second level, so that's 2d6.
So you have to roll the hit.
Sorry.
22.
22 hits.
10.
So you bring out some of your shiny new sling bullets, and with the power of your mind, you lift one of them up and launch it at the warg. And as it slams into its side, you hear it thud with a solid hit and dealing 10 points of damage to the warg as it turns and eyes at you. And it is now the wargs and wolves' turns. The wolves, 2 are going to move into, or 1 more is going to move into melee with Stano. And then 1 is going to move into melee with Taffy. And the other is going to move into melee with Demos. The dire wolf is going to move into a flanking position against Stano. And with that savage hit from Demos's bolt, that telekinetically sent out sling bullet, the warg is going to move up into melee, but doesn't have enough move to move into flanking against Demos.
So wait, the dire wolf is against
So
Stano.
2 wolves
2 wolves and a dire wolf against Stano.
against
Okay.
Stano. And then a warg and a wolf against Demos. And then 1 wolf against Taffy. So let's go ahead and start with the wolf versus Taffy. Taffy's AC is
I'm gonna raise my magic shield, which gives me +1 bonus to AC. So my AC is 16.
so it is able to hit you with a 21,
Shit.
and its jaws clamp down for 7 points of damage. Do you want your shield to absorb that?
Yes.
So your shield will absorb 5 points of that,
Okay.
and 2 go through to you. Your shield shatters, and you won't be able to use it for another 10 rounds. And with the strength of its jaws, it's able to pull you out and knock you down. In addition to,
Doesn't it have to get grapple check?
it is a special wolf ability.
I
And
can
so-
cast from the ground.
With its jaws, it yanks you down, and now with you flat-footed and prone, it will make a second attack.
Let me guess. It crits,
It didn't roll a natural 20.
but it rolled enough to get 25.
Because you are flat-footed from being knocked down, yes. And it is going to hit you for 11 more points of damage as its teeth clamp down and it begins to savage
How
your
many?
arm.
11.
11 points. And now to Damos's. So Damos, you have a warg and a wolf on you.
Great.
So the wolf begins with its jaw attack. What is your AC?
18.
It does not critical you, but it hits you with its jaws, hitting you for 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And it also knocks you down. It's going to attempt a second jaw strike. It does not critical with its second jaw strike, but it hits you for another 5 points of damage, with you knocked down.
Okay.
The warg will also make its strike against you. Its first jaw attack hits, and it is now grabbed onto you.
Okay.
And it deals to you 5 points of damage as I roll a 1 on its damage die.
Nice.
And it is going to attempt one more bite on you with its final action. I'm going to name this my lucky D20. It has rolled 3 19s and 2 18s thus far on this die. This warg wants y'all dead, and it wants its puppy back. And so it hits you for another 7 points of damage.
Jesus Christ.
And now we move on to the main event.
Excuse me.
You see, with 2 members of the pack, plus the direwolf as a member of the pack, wolves have a pack tactics that allows them to deal extra damage when they hit, when they're within at least 2 of their allies. And there are 3 wolves on Stano. What is Stano's AC?
21.
So we will start with the wolves. So there's 1 wolf that's flanking, 1 wolf that isn't, and then the dire wolf is flanking. So we'll start with the flanking wolf. So a 26 gets through the 21. And so that's going to deal 4 points of damage and knock Stano down. It will attempt its second strike. Oh, and it also gets another d4 because it's within the pack side. So in addition to the original 4, it deals an additional 4. With Stano now prone, Stano is considered flat-footed, so the 21 drops down to a 19. And the second strike is also able to hit, dealing 11 points of damage. The wolf that is not flanking strikes and is able to hit with a 23 and deals 5 more points of damage. Hey, I rolled low. The second strike misses. That's positive, right?
That's great, Chris. Thanks.
How's Stano's HP doing?
21. She has 41 max.
So it's now going to be the direwolf's turn. So instead of an additional d4 with the direwolf, it's an additional d6.
Oh, fuck off, Chris.
Why?
Because it's a dire wolf.
Oh.
Yeah, it's bigger. It's meaner.
Because Chris decided he didn't want to run Age of Ashes anymore.
Y'all had a nice set of relatively easy fights, and I wanted to break your hearts and see if I could break your spirits. 24 hits, right?
Yeah, it does. Thanks.
Where's the d10? There's a d10.
D10. I'm not going to tell you where it is because that's rude. And we're recording.
So it deals 11 more points of damage.
Well,
Are you unconscious?
nope, not yet.
You know what I'm
And
doing?
it rolled a 2 on its second strike.
Good.
Oh wow, they have reach.
Fuck off.
I didn't read that they had reach. But the direwolf now has you grabbed.
Love it. Cool. Thanks.
It is now Kazlin's turn.
For record, guys, I now have 10 hit points.
Yeah.
I know I'm much better.
He's gonna move up to flank one that does not put him in the position to be flanked.
Okay. Do you want to move the one that's on? You want to assist Taffy, assist Deimos, or assist Stano?
If I can attack the one that's already been damaged.
So that is up on Stanos. So you can move around and get to flank it.
Okay.
All the wolves would have to adjust to be able to try to flank you instead.
Okay. I'm going to twin strike it, or twin take down that thing.
Okay, no?
Alright, first roll.
Now, you do have an option to be able to move into a space to where you will be able to hit both of them and still not be flanked if you want.
No, just the one.
Okay.
Because that makes them be able to hit me if they decide to.
Mm-hmm.
23.
And
the
you're
first one?
flanking, right?
Yeah.
That criticals.
Nice. 10.
And what weapon are you using?
The first short sword.
So your short sword cuts into it, getting through its flank, and you can tell that you hit an artery as it goes down as you're attacking it from its backside. And you seem to have gutted it from its backside. And that wolf is fallen.
Oh, thank God.
So you have one action remaining.
Can I move to flank the other one that's on Stano?
So you want to try to flank the wolf or the dire wolf?
The dire wolf. No, wait. It doesn't really matter. The wolf.
Okay. And it is now Steno's turn. Kazan
Okay.
has moved around, and in doing so was able to take out one of the wolves, the one that you had initially damaged.
Okay, so she's just prone.
Correct. You're prone and grab.
Okay, can she still get up?
You will need to escape the grab to get up.
Okay, she's gonna do that.
So that would be an athletics check.
That is a 19.
You are able to escape the wolf's jaws as you pry it open, and then you are now free from the grab.
Cool, she's gonna get up.
You now have one action remaining.
She's gonna swipe it. Well,
Are
she's
you-
not gonna swipe it.
Are you going to go after the wolf or the dire wolf?
The wolf is prone. Or the wolf is...
You're flanked with the wolf, but not with the dire wolf.
I guess she's gonna go for the wolf. That's a 26.
26 criticals the wolf. So that will be 2d12 plus 8.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
19 damage.
So 19 slices into the wolf, and this gout of red shoots out from it as you have likely injured part of its chest and lung, but it is still active. It may be running away soon. We'll find out.
Fuck off.
So 19 into that one. Taffy, your sphere is up, but it is not occupied by anything at this point.
Is there something within 30 feet of it?
There is.
Is
In
the
fact, you
warg
have,
within 30 feet of it?
the warg is just within 30 feet, but it is in combat with Deimos. You can tell that the dire wolf and the other wolf are in combat with Kazlin and Stano, and you have a wolf on top of them.
It's gonna roll all the way over to the warg.
All right.
She needs to make another reflex save. Actually, no, you know what? It's gonna roll over to the dire wolf, and it will need to make a reflex save.
Does a 15 succeed?
No,
Then it will take its damage.
11 damage.
The wolf is
And if-
singed.
And if it doesn't move out of that square on its next turn, it will take another 3d6 damage. And it
You
won't
have 2
be
more
able to save.
actions. What would you like to do? Now you have been knocked down.
I
Yeah.
don't need to stand up to cast spells. So Taffy is going to, because she's been bitten and she's taken damage,
Yep.
she's going to take the blood, smear it across one cheek and then the other. And
Like
cast
football stripes?
more like
War paint.
Viking war paint kind of.
Okay.
And she's going to cast False Life on herself and gain 6 temporary hit points.
Must be nice to get fucking hit points.
Well, when your max is 32.
That's fair.
It's amazing that someone with a ranged heal ability will be totally up in the next part of initiative. Demos!
Deimos has a ranged heal ability?
Soothe.
Yeah, soothe. But
Motherfucker.
what I want to do is
Hang
if-
on. It's still Tapestry.
Oh,
No,
Sorry.
that was the
No,
end of my
that's-
turn.
Yeah,
That
Okay.
was,
an action to sustain and then
If-
2 actions to cast.
I didn't
if-
stand.
Is it 1 action to false life?
It's 2 actions to False Life, 1
1
action to move.
sustain your...
Oh yeah, to sustain. I thought you said stand. I was like, I didn't
Okay.
stand.
okay, guys. What I want to do is to get out of the way of the warg, and if I get behind Stano, is that going to put me out of the immediate way?
So you can move up to a spot next to Stano in 1 action.
That's what I want to do because
And-
I'm going to use Battle Medic.
Now that will place you... it'll place you essentially right next to Kazlin as well. But you can be out of range of both the wolf and the dire wolf.
That's what I need. Okay, let me do Battle Medic on Stano first.
Heal me, soft hands.
17.
17 is just enough for 2d8.
5. And that's not plus anything, right?
Nope.
5. I'm doing my best. I'm giving everybody the Battle Medic I can before I move to Soothe.
What else are you gonna do?
Oh, Kazlin's right there. I can do Battle Medic there, too.
I'm not damaged.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
not
Kazlin's
damaged?
not taking
I
anything
am,
yet.
but
But I can't reach.
You can't.
Oh, I should do it on myself. I am down there.
Oh.
Take that.
the button? Why, thank
You've been punished. Bad dice.
Medvic,
does that leave you?
Medvic, do you think this is the time or the place?
I think it's the perfect time.
Anyway,
Let's see how much Demos really cares for all of you, choosing to medic instead of cast his spells.
24.
24 is enough to do 2d8.
Yeah.
Did you lose your D8 again?
I never know what a D8 looks like.
Looks like a D8.
Yeah, haha.
What'd you just give yourself?
13.
You son of a bitch.
I know, it's awful. It's okay. It's okay.
It's not okay. She's got 15 hit points.
Okay.
With Demos having moved away, that leaves Taffy being savaged and vulnerable to the
Alright.
warg. And so the warg and the wolf will move over. So the warg is able to hit.
if I don't get swallowed. 'Cause I can
Oh
be
shit,
swallowed
yeah,
whole.
that's a thing they can do.
Oh, hell.
What?
They can swallow Taffy.
Oh
Thanks
no!
for reminding me.
Fuck off.
So it hits you for 8 points of damage and grabs you.
Does it hear Luna?
It does, and it would prioritize Luna first. It takes your pack, but it can't move yet.
She's not in my pack.
Where'd you leave Luna?
Luna's on the lead. And I would have let go of Luna's lead before the combat started.
Oh,
So Luna's wherever Luna's hiding.
Sid, I'm trying to save you.
That's
We should have
that.
given.
That's actually might be helping.
We should have given Luna to stagger him.
No!
What?
Because then it'd kill Taffy.
It's gonna kill me either way.
Well-
'cause I took
Like,
its
the
baby.
thing is if we trick this warg into taking Luna, then we could kill the warg and take Luna and Greaves back. The warg ain't getting out of
6
this
points
alive.
damage, you said?
yes.
No, you said 9, didn't you?
I rolled yes, 9 points of damage. I rolled a 5 and it gets +4.
You still awake?
Thank God I had those temporary hit points for all of 3 seconds.
And as it has you grabbed, it catches Luna's scent on you, whips and turns around to where it believes Luna is.
With me in its mouth?
It does have to let go because it can't move you.
Oh!
That's part of the action. And you can hear it kind of do this yip bark to the other wolf to direct it towards Luna. And that wolf moves over, and you hear this as the other wolf has picked up Luna by the scruff and has begun moving towards the cave entrance.
Was it my turn?
Did all that.
Well, one to move over, one to interact with Luna, and then one to begin moving back.
Did Luna interact back with it?
Luna will be struggling on your turn, yes. I mean, it basically went over there and picked it up by the scruff. It is a pup. And then now it's everything that is on Stano.
Awesome.
So there is a wolf in between Stano and the entrance that has been dealt not quite a mortal blow, but enough to make it run with its tail tucked between its legs.
Good.
That will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Yes! This is 17.
17 hits.
Oh, okay, cool. 16 damage.
Oh, I feel the pain of this thing. I mean, granted, I understand it's trying to eat and gut you alive and everything. So as it tries to turn and head off in the opposite direction, you lash out with your greatsword and you cut it from tail to neck. You can feel the ribs splinter with your strike as it just cascades over, its bowels spilling and making a gushing swoosh as it spreads out. And that but leaves the direwolf that's right there in front of you. So we will...
She's gonna give the direwolf crazy eyes.
I don't think they have their pack bombs now.
They don't.
Nope. So the direwolf is going to roll a natural 1! Give me the fail card.
You want to draw it?
Yeah, let's draw this sucker.
Is it Gred?
It is a gray card. We want to pick a nice one here. Alright, so with a melee strike, it has bit its own tongue and has caused itself 1 persistent bleed damage.
Fucking idiot!
Well, that's right, the 1 persistent bleed.
Heal, boy.
Cat got your tongue.
That's all awful, and you should feel bad.
Oh my god! The die hate! Give me another card!
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
I just rolled 2 natural 1s.
So much for those so much for that dice loving you.
Well, apparently
It's a love-hate relationship.
at the moment it's in the we hate the wolf point. Now what did you do? I told you it's sharp. It takes... Not only is it taking 1 persistent bleed, it is now taking 1d6 persistent bleed.
Yes.
1d6 plus 1.
Yes, 1d6 plus 1 persistent bleed damage.
Awesome.
As it bleeds.
That's all it does for this turn, just bleeds.
How close are we to our... We're in Irison? No, we're
No,
not.
we're in Isker.
Isker.
Imagine
Irison
just being
near
a large wolf
Isker?
And biting your
Okay.
tail.
and just
really
like
far
sitting
away.
there and just like
Oh.
suddenly you're just like
Oh.
useless. You're just like
Well,
Good
so
job.
it's trying to latch out with its jaws, and as it's fending off, instead of its jaws being able to clamp around either Stano's wrist or trying to go for Stano's leg, it's caught its tongue, first the tip of it the first time, and then its tongue was partially lolled out, and it is essentially bitten off a huge chunk of its tongue as it slides off to
Ooh.
the side, and it is just now gushing, and so there's this blood pouring from the mouth of the warg.
Is it Stano's turn yet?
It's going to go 1 more bite. It's got 3 actions.
It's a dumbass.
A 12 does not hit.
It does not.
nice.
but as it does, as it gets close, it just covers your armor in blood as it's out towards you. It is now Kazlin's turn.
Okay. He is going to move into flanking on that one.
So you're going to flank the dire wolf.
Yeah. 25.
25 hits. Doesn't quite critical, but you got close.
8.
8 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And you're attacking with your short sword.
Yep.
It is still up, and you get this solid stab right into its flank.
Okay. And then for the second one, that's the... I'm doing twin strike. I retroactively
Yep.
saying that.
So move, twin strike. What's your second?
That's -4, right? Because of the...
You're now wielding 2 agile weapons.
Yeah. 21.
21 still hits. Do your damage.
3.
So you're able to get in on both sides of its flank. A deep jab on the first one and a slightly lighter graze on the second. And you got 1 action remaining.
I'm gonna... No, I'm not. Nothing really. I just stay there.
You want to try to do another strike?
Yeah, I can. I'm just afraid I'm gonna crit. Just kind of how it rolls for me.
Always
You're
a 5% chance.
Yeah. Okay.
Worst thing you can do is cause yourself to bleed.
-8, so 3 plus 10. 13?
13 does not hit.
Okay.
Alright. Steno, you are now flanking the wolf with Kazlin.
Does a 28 critical?
A 28 criticals the flanked dire wolf.
That's exactly what she's attacking. And she is power attacking that.
Oh my.
Kill that
Oh
bitch.
my. The dire wolf is actually a male.
I don't care. It's still a bitch to me. A furry four-legged.
So with
Stupid.
a critical hit, that means you're going to be looking at 3d12
39
plus...
points of damage.
39?
Yeah.
39.
Yeah.
You should use that to intimidate the
39.
Warg.
Yeah.
Somehow you vaporized the wolf. It's just, it doesn't exist anymore. You threw it through a spatial rift.
She threw it into another plane of existence.
With Kazalin harrying the flanks of the wolf, and as it took the 3 damage from his second stab, it exposed its throat, and in that moment, you execute your power attack, slicing up through the jugular, severing the head of the wolf. Every member of the pack immediately takes notice.
She's gonna yell out as this happens, "I said heal!"
The head spins and falls over, the last of the blood in the head seeping out from the partially severed tongue as it lolls out to the side. The look of delicious carnage on Shay's face is beautiful. That's a... You know, you overkilled that wolf by 18 hit points?
Good. I really liked those bramble bashers.
So,
They were legitimately one of my favorite parts of the game, Chris.
Oh, that's
Do we
now
have-
Stano
Taffy's turn.
has 3
Oh.
actions.
Oh, Stano has 1 action remaining, that's correct.
Okay. So the warg is over at Taffy, right?
Correct.
Stano's gonna...
Taffy has 1 warg and 1 wolf honor.
Stano, still covered in this wolf's blood, is going to go over and get into flanking position with the warg.
Okay, so you move around and you've intercepted, and now Taffy is flanking you with the warg. And that now leaves it to be...
Think of all the
Taffy's turn.
canine meat that Bread can get out of this.
that's a little tough.
Canine leather?
Is my flaming sphere within range of the warg?
It is.
I move the flaming sphere to roll over the top of the warg,
Maybe not through Stano, though?
not through Stano.
And what is the DC?
19.
Do you have to... How does that work?
Oh, yeah, so
Spell slot twice?
that dire wolf was also
It's one
supposed to take
spell,
the additional
but I can
D6
sustain
with
it.
the damage.
By
Oh,
using-
let me roll that.
No, he's already dead, sweetie.
Oh, sorry.
Stano made sure of that.
It's very crispy at this point. And as it rolls over to the warg has a 21 reflex.
Damn it.
It leaps to the side.
Wait, so it moves.
Well, it's occupying the same space. So it's kind of like the sphere rolls up on it and it moves.
It's one of those loopholes in the game.
Well, if it allowed it to move to a different square, you'd be able to get your attack, but it is occupying the same square as the sphere. Just remember that, when the dragon would have the opportunity to also take and an attack of opportunity once you try to dodge its breath weapon.
Fuck that dragon. Fuck this warg.
You have 2 actions, Taffy. What would you like to use?
Taffy is going to look dead in the warg's eyes and command it, lay down.
Will save?
Will save.
What's your DC?
19.
It has +6 to its will.
God damn it.
Wait. Oh,
I
we'll save.
rolled a 14. That's 20. So what? It had to beat a 19?
Yeah, if it succeeds.
Does flanking help?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn.
God damn it. Oh, matter. I failed, so.
Does it have a failed condition?
Doesn't do anything.
Damos. Taffy is looking very rough with 2 wolves still on her.
And within 1 move, I can get to her.
You can.
Okay, let's do last probably medicine I'm doing during this battle. Perfect 20, so 28.
So that is a critical success, meaning you do 4d8 in healing.
Okay, 15.
So Taffy goes up by 15 hit points?
Yes.
So
Damos fills you up just a little bit more.
Damos rushes over, whipping out a bandage, like this pre-prepared poultice, and just smacks it right on one of
15, you said?
Taffy's bandage, or one of
Yeah,
Taffy's
15.
wounds, and
Oh,
just immediately
and
stops
that's-
any bleeding there.
2 moves, right?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm going... Oh, that's... Because I think Soothe is a 2 action.
So it
I'm
is a
I'm
action.
only 1 hit point away from full, so
No,
instead of somebody else.
I meant for someone else. I'm going to do Inspire Courage.
Everyone is inspired.
Demos, who will truly be a hit tonight at the tavern.
Oh, here's hoping.
With the death of the dire wolf, every other wolf except for the warg bolts,
Nice.
immediately running away.
And triggering attack of opportunity.
I don't believe there are any in...
Wasn't
There
there
was
one
one
attacking?
melee with me.
Right, but it's on the other side,
Oh.
because you're flanking with the warg.
Your weapon doesn't have reach, does it? Oh wait, no, that one.
No, it's a great sword.
But the wolves begin yelping and cut. The warg, on the other hand, I keep looking at the winter wolf entry on the warg, and I'm like, this breath weapon is too much. And then it's right, because that's the wrong entry. It's a warg, not a winter wolf.
Oh man, winter wolves have a nasty breath weapon.
What happens when you don't brush your teeth?
It's ice.
Dinty ice.
So the warg
This is what it feels like
like
to
to
chew
chew
5 gum.
It is going to try to take its meal and go.
So it's going to invoke an attack of opportunity?
No, because both of these are straight up attacks. So first it's going to attack, it's going to try to swallow whole, and then it is going to move. So first it's got to do its attack. That's a natural 20.
Oh.
So it is going to deal triple damage.
Good thing I just healed you.
So that is going to be
It just has to roll 10 damage and I'm dead. Or I'm
3d8.
unconscious.
You are unconscious.
I thought you were 1 away from full.
I only have 32 health. Total.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
I'm unconscious.
Well, what's your hit points at?
31.
Oh, then I definitely have to roll. I thought I misinterpreted that. It has to do a bit.
It has to do 10
That's-
on a base roll, and triple is gonna.
No, you rolled the 3 dice.
Oh.
Deep breath.
It deals to you 30 points of damage.
You're still up.
Until it swallows me. Because
Yeah.
I don't have dexterity saving to do anything in my life.
It's okay, don't worry. Don't worry. Daffy's too popular today.
Wolves are fucking OP, man.
They fucking are.
Not even a wolf, it's a warg.
With you grabbed, it will attempt its swallow whole. And that swallow whole does 5 points of damage.
I'm unconscious, so I can't even save.
And so
Does that mean I automatically fail a death saving throw if it takes me negative health?
No.
Okay.
But your sphere does wink out as with its jaws it latches on, brings Taffy up, and then swallows Taffy whole. And with its final action, it will disengage and try to move fully away, which would trigger Steno's attack of opportunity.
Not yet. 25.
25 hits. Now, from what you can tell, this warg has suffered some damage,
Through that.
and you would estimate it probably is at about a third of its health and damage. So how much are you going to do, Steno, with your savage strike?
That's 11 points.
11 points. It is still up, but it is severely damaged. It is bloodied, as it is attempting to try to make off with your spellcaster.
And then it's Stano's turn, isn't it? No, it's Brett's
It
turn.
is Kazlin's turn. So you just witnessed this warg as the other wolves went away, as it does this strike onto your wizard and just gulps her down. And as it begins to turn tail and run, noticeably abandoning its pups again, Stano takes another strike at it, slashing a gash across its flank. What do you do, Kazlin?
Where is it as opposed to me?
It is one action away.
Is it still next in a space next to Stan?
No, it has moved its full
It's fully-
movement away.
There's one. Okay.
Only because of the angle is it still within an
Okay.
action of you. It is very fast. It moves 40 feet in action.
Okay. I'm gonna move up to it. It is still my prey.
Yep. You can tell exactly how quick it'll move.
Guys, don't forget your Inspire Courages.
That applies to damage too, right?
Yeah.
Did you apply that damage to your strike?
No, so that means it did 12 damage.
So, Kazlin, are you going to twin strike it this time?
I'm going to perform a feint.
All right. So you're going to try to trick it out. And is your feint going against its reflex DC?
It's here.
Ooh, thank you for the button, Bread. Though I think maybe you should get Deimos to use more of them. I sense he has a few too many.
Against
3.
his perception DC.
So you need to beat an 18.
You can do it. We believe in you.
Fuck. That's tilted.
All right, reroll.
That
That's
is.
tilted.
Part of the cards. Guide
Please
me.
it make it better, Bread.
That's +2 because it's 18.
That's
Plus
enough.
1 for Inspire Courage.
Oh.
Yeah, you just had to beat the 18.
Oh, I
You
need
got
to
it.
beat. Well, I didn't beat the 18.
Yeah.
That counts? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is flat footed, and now I'm going to twin strike. First with the.
+1.
So 28.
28 criticals.
Yes. Let's see, that's 8 plus 12.
12 points of damage?
Yeah.
So you glint part of your blade and you do a devastating strike, and you've cut along just a part, trying to get Taffy ruptured just out, and you're almost there, but you have cut open a huge gash in its flank. You need to make your other strike.
Okay. I rolled a natural 1.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you have any buttons left?
No, that was the last one.
Then pull out the grey card.
Sorry.
That's just melee, right?
Yes.
You overextended, you trigger reactions as if you had used a move action. So I guess if it doesn't have a deck of opportunity, that doesn't actually do anything.
Because you are not within the range of one of its allies, it cannot use its reaction on you.
Good.
Oh,
Steno,
yeah?
because of its distance, you're going to require 2 actions to move up to it.
She's gonna sudden charge.
So Steno sudden charges forward.
Is that another button? I keep acquiring such great buttons. Do you know this makes a count of 6 that I have claimed today? Tell me, was it worth it, Stano?
I don't know, Medvic. Does a 26 hit?
A 26 definitely hits. And you likely sudden charged into the spot where you're flanking with Kazlin, right?
Of course.
Then that means it criticals.
Oh,
How do you want to do this?
is it already dead?
Oh,
It has
okay.
2 HP left.
No way it can't.
27 damage. She's gonna swing her sword up. Is there a way for Stato to basically cut the belly open so Taffy falls right out?
Yes.
She's gonna do exactly that.
Charging in from the side, you catch under the back hind with your great sword, slicing under, opening up under the diaphragm, the guts then exposing, catching on the edge as the stomach itself ruptures. Taffy covered in goo and her own blood as she slips outward from it. The warg dead,
Well, I mean,
having been slain, and Taffy sitting at dying 1.
so like, since she crit and did such an awesome job,
Yeah.
do you think maybe she could like it could be disabled to the point where we could like keep it alive and torture the fucking
No.
fuck?
Kill it. Kill it. Kill it.
Oh, she's gonna kill it.
No.
She's gonna take its head.
No torture. No torture?
No torture.
I will say, critically on a final hit is button worthy for return, though.
Oh, Medvic.
And as GM, and considering the difficulty of that encounter, I will go ahead and supply the party with replacement buttons.
Yay!
Ha
Though I highly recommend that Deimos actually, use Soothe before Taffy has to roll.
Yes.
So we're technically out of initiative at this point, right?
You are, because the other wolves ran away.
Okay, cool.
what
So Stano's gonna start sawing off the warg's head.
Wait, what happened to the wolf that took Luna?
I actually want to
They all
use
ran.
soothe at the second level.
So that wolf took Luna and ran off.
Oh no, it dropped Luna off at the
Oh.
opening of the cave. So both
Oh.
Greaves and Luna are in the cave.
Oh, cool.
But every other wolf, as soon as the dire wolf was beheaded, bolted.
So, what would Stano roll to basically not just take the head, but also skin the warg?
Survival.
16 to heal Taffy.
Taffy's back up. She's not happy.
18.
That is enough to, with y'all's ample amount of time, to be able to take the hide of the warg. Would you also like to do
How-
this to the dire wolf?
Yes. Should
How
I roll
damn-
again?
One more.
How damaged is Stano at the moment?
She has 15 hit points. Oh.
I'm going to use soothe again on. Just
23.
You are able to also acquire a fairly salvageable direwolf pelt as well.
Is the head worth saving?
16 for Stano as well.
Do you want to mount a direwolf head upon your wall?
Yes.
Yes?
Then yes.
Before entering the cave to get Luna and Greaves,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to make can I make a track check and see if there's anything else in there before like just walking in?
There's a wolf in there with it, or with
All the wolves ran away.
That we know of. That's the only reason. I'm sure there's probably nothing in there, but
So as you look into the cave, you can tell that it's actually a fairly shallow culvert, and only ones that remain there are Greaves, a bit scuffed up, and Luna with her harness and lead.
okay. I'm gonna scoop up Greaves and then lead Luna out with the lead.
Stano's gonna come over and take Greaves from you gently.
Taffy's gonna really quickly cast Prestidigitation on herself to lean up, and is just gonna sit there and hug Luna to herself.
Greaves takes a moment to lick the face of essentially the one who just killed a direwolf and a warg, with assistance, of course. And then sitting there, Luna puts both of her paws right there on Taffy's chest and licks your chin up to your nose.
She whoops you.
I'm gonna pull out a little bit of provisions and feed Greaves.
Taffy's just gonna start crying into Luna's chest.
And that's where we'll pick up
Hold her
next time.
close.
That was intense.
That was rough. Fuck you.
Alright, so what did y'all think of that one?
Fuck you.
Was that all homebrew?
Hmm?
Was that homebrew?
Yep.
So you didn't have to kill him, but you did.
Oh, look, Pip. Once you break them open, they have these tasty treats inside. Tasty treats. Ooh, this one is spicy. I love spicy. One cannon's fluttering ass cheeks going on in here.